Hello! Just finished up Flux Part 4, Village of the Angels, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I'd say it was the best one so far, to be honest. In the way of being horrifying or scary, there were some moments where it was like, ooh, made you jump a little bit, but at this age, it won't be that scary. But we'll start with the cold opening. That was quite a creepy cold opening because we've got no idea what's really going on. We know only one of the characters in the whole thing, and they're acting strangely. No clue. And of course, the angel has the TARDIS. Being reminded of that. Opens with the Doctor plugging in some tubes that I don't think we've ever seen before, which fixes the temporal anomaly or something. I don't know. It's a bit strange. But the story moves along quite quickly. There wasn't really a moment where it kind of stopped to think. It was bang, 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 this is happening. We see the pastor getting zapped by an angel. Jericho's house being invaded, that happens quite fast. The only time where it really slows down is when the Doctor goes into the mind of the angel to go have a chat with it. And Jericho's watching, and he's just sitting there by himself for the whole thing. And yeah, it would have been nice if we had seen more of Jericho. Of course, he was one of the main focuses of the episode, or one of the main characters, but it would have been nice to have a bit more from him, instead of just some very quotable lines like, I'm not blinking, or being very stoic. The Doctor's still sonicking everything. That's one thing I noticed. The sonic is being used quite a lot. There's never really a moment where the Doctor doesn't have the sonic in their hands, and when they kind of had it in their hands and going, oh, it's too hot, I thought, maybe they're going to be getting rid of it for this episode. Maybe it just won't be used. But no, it was really fine, and there was nothing wrong with it. Later on, Alice, I think her name is, she discovers that she's got angel wings. They did not look... They looked okay. The CGI on it wasn't brilliant, but then again, when you're working with CGI on top of a person in a mirror, then it's probably not the easiest in the world. But on a lighter note, Neil from The Inbetweeners was there. Oh, it was fantastic. His voice has really changed a lot. I mean, it's probably because he's about 10 years older. But still, it's good to see that Neil and Jay are both now in Doctor Who. Next, we've just got to get Simon and Will. Who knows how long that'll take, though. One thing I noticed was when they were opening the doors to his mansion, house. When they were opening the front doors and all the angels are standing there, and he turns around and then turns back and the angel's next to him, wouldn't the Doctor have been watching? I really don't understand how it moved there and why it didn't just zap him back immediately if it managed to get there that quickly, but who knows? I guess she just probably wasn't watching. Speaking of the angels, I think they've got a slight redesign. They look a lot more like statues, and it actually makes them look quite a bit creepier, I think, even though they are less human. It does mean that we can kind of relate to them more in the fact that they look real. They look like we would see them every day in a churchyard or out and about in the town. Because of the way that the face is, it's definitely a lot more stony, if you get what I mean. The texture of it, the material, it's not as plasticky in a way on the face, and not as thin. It feels thicker when you look at it. There's one moment where the Doctor, she gets the picture that had been ripped up, and because it reformed, an angel appears, and it's like this holographic effect, and when she scrunches it back up, I thought that was brilliant. That effect was actually quite nice, and it was quite a nice moment to see. But the big reveal of the episode, as we all know, is that the Weeping Angels are working for the Division, or at least that particular squad was working for the Division. Something which, yes, I know that the Division is laid throughout this series of episodes. I don't think anyone really expected that. I mean, the Weeping Angels, the ones who have barely ever appeared, and whenever they do, we learn less and less about them. They're working for the Division. Why would anyone think that would happen? But pretty good plotline there. Belle's story has continued, and that's how we meet Neil from The Inbetweeners. She's still looking for Vinda, and has gone on to a planet where Azure is promising the people of it that she will give them salvation through the form of passengers. Which, honestly, I think that's a pretty good idea. That to kind of gain more power through the passenger forms, or more hostages, that they would offer people salvation. It's a bit like the Cybermen story, The Flood, where in the future they're making people want to be upgraded. Well, not want to, but, well, yeah, where they're offering something and people see that as a better alternative. The difference here is that they don't really know that passenger's not a good idea and that it's actually a prison. But I guess it's not common knowledge within the galaxy. But finishing up, we had the credit interruption. And in a way, I kind of thought there was something wrong because the music at the end felt a bit dimmed. It felt a lot quieter than it usually does. So I thought, doesn't really feel right. And then, of course, screen crackles. There's Vinda. He's met up with Neil, and he's got a message from Belle. Of course, the plotline has to continue with the fact that he has no idea where she's gone. He knows what she's going to do, but not really to who. But it's a shame. For the next time trailer, I don't really know. I think this is the one where everything's going to click together. Everything's going to converge onto one story, one particular setting. And it's going to be the end, in a way. Of course, there is one more part, but I think the last part is going to be the final battle, majorly the final battle between Swarm and Doctor. And that's what's going to happen throughout the whole thing. Part 5 will be everything that'll just in a tight, neat bow. I think that's my prediction for it. Part 5 will be sort of the end, and 6 will be the final battle of sorts. But in the next time trailer, Kate Stewart's back. I honestly didn't expect Kate Stewart to return. I don't think anyone really expected Kate Stewart to return, and she only appears for a second. It is a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing, but it's good to see that Unit's returned in a way, and maybe Chibnall sort of set it up so that when Russell takes over, he can bring Unit back, and he can make it so that Unit are a presence again. But anyway, thanks for watching. Quick note, today's video kind of marks my 100 subscribers. I've just recently reached 100 subscribers, just today, and thank you to all of those people who have subscribed to my channel and stayed with me since the beginning of this year, when I started on January 8th. It's good to see that I've gotten triple digits, and next I guess we can hope for 500 subscribers maybe even more. We'll just have to see, but I think it's been a good first year, and thank you very much to everyone. Bye.